to RG's Shed. This is my first video and I will be talking about how to convert a Dura Ace RD-9150 Di2 SS, which is the short cage version, to a, as you can see here, a long cage version. So what I have done is I have had my Dura Ace mech, which I'm currently or will be using, and I have bought a Ultegra RD-R8000 GS mechanical road derailleur, so I can salvage the cage off. But as you can see, this is the old Dura Ace one, the smaller one, which I have changed in between the cages, and I will be putting this on my road bike. I'll be putting this on my gravel bike or touring bike. So, and that is the reason as to why I will be, I have done this conversion and will be using a long cage, is to use a 11-40 or an 11-42 cassette when I'm doing some gravel biking or some touring. So the conversion is extremely simple. All you're going to need is 2 derailleurs, a Phillips screwdriver, and a Torx T10. This is just mounted onto an Allen key for a bit more leverage. Okay, so first of all, I've already installed, so I'll only be taking out the Dura Ace cage. However, there are it's basically the same process, but there are just a few things that you need to watch out for when you're actually doing the install. Alright, so first, the derailleur has to be shifted into its highest gear. So as you can see with this Dura Ace one, it is shifted into the largest cock at the back. With the mechanical one, if you would unwind, you can see the cage would hit here, so you just have to pry it open, which isn't too much of a problem. So, now, you have to undo this little screw here, which is the stop screw for the cage. So all you need to do is pry the stop open with your hand. This is easier done on a bike, but I just don't have that right now, and it's easier to film on a workshop. So once you've taken that cage out, there's that screw out, there's nothing to stop the cage from going back, so you will just let that unwind, which will make your derailleur look a bit funny, but that's the way it is. So now, take the Torx, and there will just be one little screw down here, which you will have to undo. Okay, so here you have the stop screw. So then the cage just slides out, absolutely no problem. Okay, so at this point you will do exactly the same procedure with the Ultegra mech to take off this cage. However, there are a few things that you need to watch out for. So this little stop screw here is specific to the cage. Or at least I'm not sure if they're intercompatible, but they sure are different. So I just thought it would be safe to just stick with the original product. And the same goes for this screw here. This is not specific to the cage, but it is specific to each derailleur. So the one on the Dura Ace version is considerably longer, maybe 3 to 4 millimeters. So just keep track of that, and that's all you're going to need to worry about with the derailleurs. So as you can see, to thread the cage back in, there is this little stop here. So this is where the spring slides in, but underneath the spring, you can clearly see, let me take that out, there is a washer, a small washer like this. These are as well specific to each derailleur, and the Ultegra washer will not work with the Dura Ace mech. So just be sure to transfer those, or else the cage will not slide in. So once you have transferred this little washer, what you can also do is change the pulley wheels, since the Dura Ace ones are, I think, a few grams heavier, maybe 5 or so, and maybe the bearings are a bit higher quality, and I just thought, why not? But yeah, and since this is going to be for a gravel setup, you can do this pretty neat thing where you just lift up the spring, and that exposes these 2 holes. And these are for changing the tension on your spring. And you can do these on both the Ultegra one and the Dura Ace one. And see these two holes here where the spring hooks in. These small holes define how much tension you have. So originally it will come in the lower one, and since it's for a gravel setup, I want to have it in a bit higher. So I'm just going to hook this little hook here of the chain, of the spring. It comes undone a lot easier on the Ultegra one than the Dura one, I find. But anyways, you just slide that over the barrel, plug that in, and there you go. And it just slides in, no need for tools or anything. So now, just slide the cage back into the mechanical. Make sure that the spring and the washer below it are more or less aligned. You then just push it in. Make sure not to bust your little washer. And there, it just sits in, but it's loose. So, you want to turn the mech around, take the screw, put that back in there, and that's just going to slide in. Give that a close up. It really doesn't need to be very tight. It's a very small screw, but you know, just maybe 1 or 2 Newton meters. Alright, so you've got your your Dura Di2 GS, nearly functional rear mech right now. All you need to do is push the spring back. This will then preload it. When you do this, you will hear a small click coming from the rear mech. No need to be frightened. This is just the spring setting back in. And here comes a bit of an annoying part. So you're going to need to thread the stop screw back into the little thing here. This can be either extremely fiddly or take a few seconds depending on how lucky you are, but nonetheless it's a pretty simple job. All you need is a Phillips screwdriver, tighten it back up, and there you go. Hey presto, the world's first, or at least that I know of, RD-9150 GS, which from the videos that I've seen on YouTube will automatically take an 11 to 40 and maybe even take an 11 to 42. I might also install a goat link here, which is the same piece as this, it's just a little bit longer. This is usually recommended for really big clearances, so like for 46, 48, or even a 50 tooth. And I really am not going to be running those types of gears on a gravel bike, but if this helps with shifting or with clearances, because you know it's a road bike derailleur, I will install it, and I will make a follow-up video on how this actually does work on the bike. But yeah, it should be working absolutely fine, and the conversion is very easy. Thanks for watching.